Okay, are you ready for this? I'm going to do some control exercises on the wheel, so I hope you enjoy this. Let's bob my camera down so you can actually see me. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to open out the clay using a technique called the resurrection position, and I'm just going to dwell on that piece of clay until it feels like silky smooth and still, and it doesn't feel as though it's moving at all, which it's doing now. I'm going to mess it up and knock it off centre by doing kind of pinchy movements like that, so you can see that that piece of clay is now well and truly off centre. I'm going to re-centre it using the resurrection position. It's taking a little bit of a while because I did give it some hassle then, I think. Take a knife and I'll do a few cuts into that now. So you can see that again is well off centre. I'm going to go back onto that and just try and bring that back to life. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting my thumb on the inside, my index finger on the outside, and I'm just gently squeezing kind of there to get the control back, really. That's what I'm doing. I'll just bring it in again. Okay, so if you accidentally stab the pot with your sponge on a stick, which is a common thing on a pottery wheel, you can just do that. We can do that a few times if you want. So I've got a few holes going through it now. You can get it back if you can control the clay. That's what I'm trying to do. It's taking a bit of a while actually. I'm almost there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to throw a bowl shape, and I'm going to show you one or two of the problems that beginners can have sometimes when they're making bowls. So if I do a straight up lift, followed by a kind of a plant pot-esque lift, followed by a kind of a trumpet shaped lift, followed by a bowl lift. So I get a reasonable bowl shape on the wheel. But what I find with beginners is that sometimes they tend to overwork a bowl, and what happens with the bowl is the bowl literally just collapses down onto the wood like that. And it's very, very hard to get it back into a bowl shape. But if you can control the whole wall, and I'm just going to go on with my right hand, I'll get a bit of water on it. I'm just going to go on there with a very slow wheel, and I'm just gently teasing the clay and kind of suggesting the movement to the clay. I need a bit of water because it's getting a bit dry. And you've kind of got to wait for the clay to move. You can't get in front of the movement of the clay when you're doing that. You've got to wait for the clay to move, and then you can get behind the movement of the clay. And it's working now. I can feel it going towards the centre of the wheel. So I'm trying to get it back into a volcano shape, which is I'm succeeding with, and I'm just going to dwell on that, just making sure that's well on centre before I do a lift. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it 4 lifts into an enclosed shape. So I'll come up straight. I'll do another straight lift. So I find the collar of clay at the base, slowly come up, keeping it all nice and straight. I might as well take away this corner of clay down here now, because I might as well. It's easier doing it now than in the morning. And I'm going to use a Burton and Lonsdale technique, which uses those 3 points of contact there, but around there, and I'm just going to choke it all the way in to the middle of the wheel until it bites on my finger. And then I'm going to slowly move my finger out, and then I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to tease the shoulder up a little bit there like that. And I might go in again because I'm not that happy with that shape. And I'll close it more or less all the way down, but I'm going to leave a little hole at the top. And the reason I'm leaving a little hole at the top is so I can go on top of it and I can inflate it. You see that? And then I'm going to close it all the way down, and I'm just going to throw a knob on the top. So this is basically a salt pig, of which I have made many hundreds at Bentham Pottery over the years. I'll just sponge that off. And I'll finish the video there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll try and think of another video for next week. Thank you. Goodbye.